In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a growth operating client in 7 days or less, even if nobody knows who you are. You feel like you've tried everything, or you have zero track record as a growth operator. And if you're thinking, why would someone hire me if I have no results? I get it. I've been on both sides of things. On one side, I've built a TikTok page with over 140,000 followers where I had growth operators DMing me every single day looking to scale my offer. So I know exactly what to say, what gets ignored, and what actually gets response. Not only that, but I also have a profile with only 103 followers that has allowed me to sign dozens of growth operating clients. And that's just by using this exact same framework that I'm going to teach you today in this video. So when I say you can start from scratch, you don't need a lot of followers. And even if you're frustrated, this will work for you. I absolutely mean it. All you really need is the right strategy. And if you stick around to the end, I have something for you that will fast track your success as a growth operator. There's 3 main things that go into how I'm going to help you get a client in 7 days. The first thing is your profile. The second thing is your messaging, which is the script and exactly what you say to the prospect. And the last thing is the sales system on how you convert that person into a buyer. Now, first thing first, let's get right into the profile. Now, what I'll be talking about specifically is Instagram outreach. A lot of people think they're outdated. No, they very much work as long as you do it. Now, if you're someone who wants to speed run your way towards this, or you've been doing outreach for a while now and have not been able to see any success, click that first link below, go to my Instagram and DM me for one-on-one coaching. Now, the first thing is the big picture. That is your Instagram profile, my friends. So your Instagram profile should sell you before you ever even DM someone. Understand, as being the person who has picked a growth operator in the past for my TikTok page, for this TikTok page, for example, we used to sell a low ticket Discord community. Someone outreached to me. We went and we made a little bit of money, and that person is now my sales manager. The one thing that stuck out for me with him was his profile. His profile sold before he even DM'd me. Understand that when someone's interested in you, they will look at your message and then they'll first thing first go to your Instagram profile. Now, if your Instagram profile isn't set up in a way that conveys trust, that conveys value, you're not going to be able to convert. It doesn't matter how good your script is. It doesn't matter how good your messaging or how good your offer is. If you don't look like the person that can make the money, they're not going to trust you. So you have to be congruent. And that's that's the main reason as to why your profile should sell you before you even DM anyone. Next, the way I want you to look at your Instagram profile is to think of it as a hook, offer, and call to action. If you look at my profile right here, the hook, my main hook is how much money I generate for people. My call to action is to book a system for my call. This is my offer. Book a call for my system is my offer, and my call to action is DM me to work with me, right? So what I'm selling, my offer is selling systems, right? I don't really bring people on anymore as to my agency unless they are through like referrals or if they're making an X amount of money already with their coaching offers. So what I do mainly right now is I sell out my systems instead of bringing people onto my agency. Now for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you quickly what your offer. Here's a student of mine. His name is Caleb. His offer is, now in regards to offer, we're going to go into it a little bit more detail in the next month. But now in regarding to offers, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on later on. But you want to have your offer there, and then you want to have a call to action. My call to action is DM me to work with me one-on-one. The next thing I want every single one of you guys to do is do not try to be aesthetic. Please be valuable. A lot of people try to make their Instagram profile look nice, focus on having a nice landing page, focus on, having a beautiful link tree, all these stuff. Your goal is to be valuable. When you're first starting out as a growth operator, you have to provide value to people, right? Once you provide value to people, then they're going to be interested and then they're going to come back to you. So your profile needs to convey value, okay? So then that's going to bring us to the next thing. One profile, one offer. A lot of people also have numerous offers. Now you may look at mine and be like, well, Edwin, you have numerous offers. The reason why I have numerous offers is because I offer one-on-one coaching to students who are interested and I sell my systems, right? But if I was someone who was starting growth operating, I would obviously just simply have an offer in regards to something like I help traders make X amount of money without running ads or whatever that offer may be specifically inside of my bio, right? So that's what you guys need to understand. Please have one offer. And the reason, and this goes into marketing also, if you have numerous offers, what happens is that people get confused and a confused buyer does not buy. So please make sure to only have one offer on your profile, because if you have numerous, that kills your conversion. Next thing is proof over personality. I understand a lot of people here may not have a client, are going to be starting out, are going to be looking at this like, well, Edmond, like I don't have any proof. Well, if you're a sales rep, or even if you help cash collect something in the past, use that as proof. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and lie and, fake numbers, but what I'm saying is to stretch the truth. If you were working on a team that collected $15,000 and you were a sales rep, and you help attribute to that, make a video or make a loom or show a screenshot, something like that, that you help collect $15,000. Now, you don't have to take accountability for everything, but you could say you're a part of the piece that helped X, Y, and Z. Understand that proof is better than nothing. Most people don't have any proof, and I think a lot of you guys genuinely do have some sort of proof. You just have to stretch it a little bit. And when I say this, I'm not saying to lie. Do not lie about your results. That's not good for business. But what you can do is you can stretch the truth, which is not a lie. It's just amplifying it a little bit more. The next thing is your bio breakdown. So we're going to go over exactly what to write in your bio. Now, showing this, I'm going to show you my student. Actually, I'll show you my student right after we go into this of his bio. But here are exactly what it is. Now, the first line needs to be calling out who you help. If you're starting out, what I want you to do is just pick a specific niche. For example, it would be something along the lines of, I help day traders add an extra $15,000 in monthly recurring revenue without spending money on ads. Or I help day traders add 20K in monthly recurring revenue without taking a single call. I help day trader make an extra X amount of money without managing a sales team. Whatever your offer is, you have to have that as a first line in your bio, right? And it's the niche, what you do exactly, or like what promise you have, and then the pain that they're running away from. One of the big issues right now in info is leads. So if I was to create any sort of offer right now that I wanted to attract high quality clients, one of my main offers would be helping them generate more leads without running ads. So it would be some sort of content team, or, anything creative in the content realms of things, just because a lot of people are currently struggling right now to acquire leads. The second line needs to be how much money you've generated. Now, like I said, I understand a lot of you guys are not going to have results, but I'm pretty sure you can figure out something. Unless you're brand new to the sales space or as a growth operator, then obviously go ahead and skip this. But if you have any sort of proof, please utilize your proof and continue to market it more and more and more and more. All right, so generated $1.2 million, generated $5 million. Let's take a look at my profile right there. It's iScale coaching programs. How much money I've generated, obviously, is right there. Book a system and DM to work with me. Now, the reason why, like I said again, is I don't have this line specifically is because most of my clientele, the people that I work with right now, are referrals or word to mouth, right? It's not going to be, like just someone DMing me on Instagram, or they're just going to go through my landing page right here, tpmarketing.org, and then they'll book a call right there to work with me. So that's the reason why I specifically don't have that. But if you're starting out or if you're new in the space, then yes, definitely get that. Third line is going to be a CTA. So for example, this one is DM me the word system. It could be DM me the word system. It could be DM me on Instagram, whatever the case may be. You just want to have a call to action there. You add these three things, you're going to have a better bio than 99% of growth operators right now. Next thing we're going to go into, actually real quick, before we go into the content strategy, I want to show you my student and exactly how he's setting his up. So as you can see right here with Caleb, first thing first, he calls out his ICP, who he's helping, right? I help educational creators scale through info products. Then any sort of testimonial or anything, any results that he possibly has right there. And then DM me the word info to learn more. Very simple bio, a professional picture. He doesn't have a lot of followers, but he's getting results just by simply having this bio right there. So let's go back to the content strategy. Now, if you are a beginner, I want you to mainly focus on outreach and do 30 outreach every single day, right? 30 outreach every single day. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like doing outreach or has tried outreach, next thing I want you to try to do is a content strategy. Now, this is currently what I do right now to acquire clients. I don't really do outreach anymore. I used to. but no longer, just because I rather create high quality content, have people come to me, and it's a lot more leverage. So if you are someone who has like maybe like one or two clients and you have money already coming in, then invest into a nice camera, and spend your time on higher leverage things that are gonna, have you a higher return on investment later on in the future. Outreach is good when you want results fast, but they might just not be the best results. They might just not be the best clients. Whereas creating content, it takes time to work, but since you are working already with some sort of clients, you're not really in a rush to getting more clients. And after a period of time, you'll start seeing the fruits of your labor. So first thing first is the pinned post. So you want to have 3 pinned posts. One is a case study, one is a breakdown, and one is a personal, right? Case study, very, very simple. A case study of like some sort of results that you do have. If you don't have results, obviously skip this. Don't lie about your results. Next one is a breakdown. This is something every single one of you guys can do. Go find your favorite entrepreneur out there and break down their funnel, see exactly what is or what isn't working, and to quickly go back into the case study thing. Even if you are a sales rep or you have even a sliver of results, or you can find someone to help you borrow their results, you could use this as a case. You could use that as a case study and have that on your profile. And then the last thing is personal. Understand, people buy from people, right? We're in a trust recession where a lot of people are no longer trusting others. So what you have to do is you have to be human, right? And I know it sounds weird saying this, but you have to be a human being. And that's because if you try to be a robot, try to have a script, or try to, act too fake, people are going to see it and they're not going to trust you, right? So be human and be normal, as weird as that may sound. Next thing is focus on value over virality. Now, I want to tell you guys something that you may or may not know. The info space is pretty small. Now, I'm not saying that to say you can't get a client or this isn't a business model to do, but in fact, it is, just because it's that small and not many people are actually in it as much as you may think they are. And the reason why I'm saying that is to tie back to focus on value over virality. The chances of you going viral with info products or talking about the info space is very, very low. Realistically, the most amount of views you can get consistently when creating info type of content is like 15K views maximum. And that's because the info space is very, very small in the grand scheme of things. Next thing is, what should my reels be about? Well, your reels should be about answering this question: why are coaches stuck and how do I fix it? Very simple. So a couple examples of videos that you can make is, if you're a coach or consultant stuck between X amount of money and X amount of money, here's how to fix it. If you're a coach or consultant that's struggling to get leads, here's how to fix it. If you're a coach or consultant that's sitting on your sales calls all day and you're not being able to close, here's how to fix it. So you want to focus on what they're stuck doing and how to fix it. Now, I want to make this very, 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 very clear, guys. If you're doing outreach to people who are already selling. It is much easier to sell to people who already have the proof of concept and are already selling something, or maybe even have a sliver of results, rather than trying to sell to someone who doesn't believe in the info space, who doesn't even have a content, who doesn't even create content, or who has made zero money in the coaching space, right? Because one, you're going to have to sell them on yourself. Then you're going to have to sell them on this business model, or like actually selling info, rather than only having to sell them on yourself, if that makes sense, right? So then the next part of the thing is how to fix it. You want to always make sure that you're giving actionable steps. If you're going to call out a problem, one of the worst things you can do is to give actionable steps. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, well, Evan, if I give them actionable steps, well, are they going to buy my offer? Yes, they will buy your offer, because there's something called the 7-11-4 rule when it comes to someone buying any of your online or digital product. They need to consume 7 hours of your content on 11 different touch points at 4 different iterations. 11 different touch points. What that means is 11 different times. 4 different iterations. That means maybe a TikTok, maybe an Instagram reel, maybe a story, and maybe just a message. 4 different iterations, right? So yes, they will come back. Yes, they will still come back. Understand that. And when they do come back, they'll be much easier to sell. The next thing is the carousel and breaking down SOPs. This is exactly what I talked to you guys about here with the breakdown. It's the same exact thing. find one of your creators, or maybe someone that you've worked with in the past, or maybe a funnel, or someone that you're just interested in working with in the future. They could be big or small. The bigger they are, the higher likelihood you have getting obviously more views, like someone like TJR or Brez or something like that. But yeah, break down their funnel, see what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong, why they're making the money that they are making, and go about that way on attracting new clients. The next thing is stories. One thing that I want every single one of you guys to understand is that you have to sell more, more, and more, and more, and more, and more, and more. Alex Hormozi recently sold his book, I think it was $100 million offers or something like that, or $100 million business model, something like that. It's the Green Book. And he went on the streets of Vegas and he asked people, do you know what's happening on November, whatever date it was? And most people said no. And this guy spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads and people still did not know. You know what I mean? And that goes to tell you that no one knows what you are selling, right? You need to show proof. You need to have Stripe invoices. You need to have, show any sort of results that you possibly can, even if it's book calls, even if it's the smallest things. Over a period of time, the more and more and more they see you, the more they're going to, want to buy from you eventually. Now, that's going to lead us to the next thing, which is CTA flow, which is pretty much the exact same thing that we just covered right now. But I want to go into it a little bit more in detail. You want to use highlights, client wins, testimonials, how it works, why this works. Understand there's always content you can make, right? A lot of you guys are going to be sitting here saying, oh, Edmond, I don't have any results. Oh, Edmond, I don't know what to post. There's always something you can post. Why does email marketing work? Why does nurturing an audience work? How does Zapier work? If the client is sitting on a lot of calls all day and he's manually, moving anything, use Zapier. How does Zapier work? Why does it work? How much money does it cost them? How much time back do they get? Right? So you want to highlight on how things work. There's always some sort of content or CTA that you can post. Next thing is stories, right? The same exact thing goes to the Alex Hormozi story that I just told you. People don't know what they don't know. You need to continuously post, and have call to actions on your story. People are busy and they are not thinking about you. Now, once you do these CTAs on your story, like DM me the word for this or that, you then also want to have Q&As on it, right? Q&As and polls, having people or asking people to come back to you and things. All right, so the next thing is that your CTAs in your bio needs to drive to the DMs. A lot of you guys starting out are going to be very much beginners, in the business model and things like that. They need to drive to your DMs. If you are trying to send them to a link tree, turn them to your website, it's just not going to work, right? Websites matter a lot more once you have a decent amount of traffic and you want to funnel them and segment them. If you're getting, let's just say 1, maybe 2, 3 people coming to you once or twice a week, it's not worth it. Now, once you start getting 10, 15, 20 people a day, that's when you send them to a website and then you funnel them, accordingly. So a mistake that I see a lot of people do is trying to send people to Linktree. Like, don't do that. Send them to your DMs with the call to action. Where is it? Call to action of DM me systems or DM me, for my offer to scale your offer. The next thing is dropping CTAs. This goes back to the Alex Hormozi thing that I told you guys, is that people don't know what you're selling. And if you don't tell them over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to undermarket them, right? You're not going to tell them enough times for them to make a change, for them to actually listen. People have their own life, guys, and they are not listening to you. If you think that you're talking too much, you're probably not talking too much. Unless you have like 10 followers, then yes, okay. But once you get, once you get some sort of following from posting content, you need to post CTAs. I would say once a day, one a day, maybe pushing it. I would say once every other day, call to action, in your stories, telling people to DM you or to get some sort of free resource. Now, comment on other creators' posts, get profile clicks, DM them from a story viewer, things like that. You want to build engagement. This is something small. Now, it's not going to get you a client overnight just by commenting on other creators' things, but over a period of time, once you comment, once people start frequently seeing you, they're going to go to your profile, maybe view your story, and then that's how and when, you start to get the ball and the snowball rolling effect. Now, the next thing is auditing and tweaking. This is something that you honestly have to do over a period of time for yourself. Like, I quickly do this every 3 to 4 days. if I was outreaching right now, right? The questions that I have for you: does my bio clearly say what I am doing? Right? Here's my client, or here's one of my students right here. His name is Caleb. Does his bio tell you exactly what he's selling or what he's doing? I help educational creators scale through info products. It does, right? So ask yourself that: are my pin posts converting? Right? Now, this one's going to take a little bit more time than normal, simply for the fact that to see if something's converting, it's going to happen over a period of time. You're not going to post something and then quickly get the data. It's just going to quickly happen over a period of time. And if the way to figure out whether it's not converting is just simply ask people what they saw or like where video they're coming from. And you'll be easily able to figure out if or not it is converting. Hi, and the next thing is, have I posted proof in the last 3 days? Honestly, I would bring this up to maybe every other day, right? Post so much fucking proof, guys. Keep posting proof, keep posting proof. People don't know what they don't know. And like I said, back to the Alex Hormozi thing, you need to market yourself, market yourself, market yourself. You're always under marketing yourself. Next thing is, did I run a CTA today? If you did not run some sort of CTA today, run one. Go ahead and run a CTA, all right? And you're going to think like, okay, I'm marketing too much. Guys, you cannot market yourself. You're going to learn on something specific from this video, or one takeaway. You need to continuously market yourself. People do not know what they don't know. The next thing is, have I optimized my highlights this week? Have I added new highlights? Have I added new proof? Have I added, something new, like taught people something? Did I post, a specific YouTube video today that's educational, that can help or attract my ICP clients, right? Optimize your highlights every single week. Now, this is exactly what I'm using right now to help my student Caleb, that's getting excellent results right now in my one-on-one mentorship. If you're someone who wants to learn more or have tried these techniques out or have been struggling for the past, or if you go ahead and try this out and you don't see results, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. It's going to be the first link below. But now let's go on over to the next part of thing, which is the messaging, the scripts, the part that almost every single one of you probably want to see, right? The messaging. So I break this down into 3 different things, 5 different things specifically. Number 1 is getting out of the request folder. Number 2 is voice memos. Number 3 is booking the call. Number 4, what you do if they don't book the call, like that same exact day or like the next day. And number 5 is following up with them long term. In this section, I'm going to give you the exact scripts that I use to get my agency to over 200,000 followers, $200,000 generated every single month, and exactly how I was acquiring clients on autopilot when I was outreaching, right? So the first thing first is getting out of the request folder. This is important, guys. This is very, 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 very important. But real quick, actually, before we get into this section, here's one thing I want to tell you guys about messaging. A lot of people are going to sit here today and think a specific script is going to get them to where they want to go. Outreach is a full system. And if you're missing the system, you're not going to make the money that you want to make. And messaging and scripts are just one part of the system. Now, the main systems are your profile, message, and sales system, right? And messaging is just one part of it. There is no script that is going to change the game. Why should you listen to me when I tell you this? Because I have been the person getting the outreach. I know exactly what does and doesn't work. And I have been the person who has done the outreach. And I don't do it from a follower count or from a big Instagram profile like you may think I do. I do it from this profile right here with 103 followers on Instagram. I know exactly what does and doesn't work. And what I'm going to tell you right now is that there is no magic script out there that's going to get you to $10,000 a month. It's a full system. So before you skip this part, I need you to listen very closely to all the things that we're going to go over here, because they're extremely important. There is no specific script, but if you understand these 5 sections right here, over a period of time, you will get results. And the ones that get results in growth operating are the ones that stick to it the longest, the ones that continuously show up when times are tough. Now, let's get right into it. The first section is getting out of the request folder. Get out of the request folder. And the way you do this is by sparking curiosity, right? When you spark really, really good curiosity, you will get a reply. That is your first goal. right? Write this down on your notebook, piece of paper, save this, is to get out of the request folder. If you're not out of the request folder, your message or your pitch does not matter. And the way you do this is by having low friction or having a friendly and slightly just intriguing message. A big mistake I see a lot of people do is they send like a big paragraph like, hey Jamie, I help coaches and consultants book more calls doing X, Y, and Z, and I can make you this amount of money. And then like the paragraph is like a whole minute long to read, and it's just way too much friction. These guys are busy. Your ICP, the person that you want, is already making money. They already have some sort of business going on. They are busy human beings. What you want to do is just to intrigue them, right? And the way you do that is by creating low friction, a very friendly message. And you are not selling. And I repeat, you're not selling. And the way I would say this is that you're just tapping them on the shoulder. That's all you're doing. You're just tapping them on the shoulder saying, behind you. Something small like that. Now, here are a couple of DM openers that I've used in the past that you can go ahead and use yourself is, yo, bro, quick question about your program. Very easy, very easy. They may think you're someone that's trying to buy. They may also still think that you're someone trying to sell them on some sort of coaching, right? Quick question, bro, about your program. Next one is, just saw your photo. Mind if I ask you something real quick? Very intriguing. Like, what does he want to ask me? Is he trying to sell me? Like, what specifically does he want from me? Another one is, random question about your setup. Curious if you're still scaling that offer. Very, very easy messages, right? Another one that I would add here is like the person's name, right? Hey, John. Hey, Jimmy. Something like that. You just want them to open the message. That's the whole goal of getting out of the request folder, or once you're doing outreach, is to get out of the request folder, right? The next thing is once they do reply, right? Once you get that positive reply, or like someone saying, okay, they're interested, not even that they're interested. Once you just get a reply from them, like, yeah, what's your question? And then you ask them the question, and then you get a positive reply from them, then it's sending them a voice memo, all right? And once after you do this message and they reply, just ask them the actual question. Just ask them whatever question about the program, like how much is your one-on-one mentorship, or like, are you still running coaching, or like, are you still taking on students? Just any question like that, just to get a positive reply and then say yes. Then you could go ahead and pitch them. Now, the technique that I use with pitching was a voice memo. And the reason is it goes back to this right here, which is the most important thing: sparking curiosity and making it intriguing. If you send a voice memo, the only way for the person to know exactly what's in that voice memo is if they open it up and they listen to it. If they don't listen to it, they will go on and they will never know exactly what you are selling to them. And the one thing I can tell you about humans is that they hate having loops that are not closed, right? So you want to send them a voice memo. And now you might be saying, okay, well, I mean, what do I send them? You want the voice memo to, number one, be under 10 seconds, right? Don't send them on a 1 minute long voice memo. The max I would say is like 15 seconds max. And even that is pushing it. But you want it to be something quick, something along the lines of, hey, Jamie, I help coaches book more calls without changing their front end system. I noticed your nurture emails and follows are missing. You're losing about X amount of money every single month. Boom. That, I don't know if you could probably go and check the message, the time frame. It should have been less than 10 seconds, right? 15 seconds max if you're pushing it, right? And then with a call to action, say, let me know if you want to hear more on how I can help you with that. Very, very simple. And the reason why it works is it sparks curiosity and it's intriguing. And the human is curious. So they're going to go on, they're going to look at this, they're going to they're going to listen to it, right? And the goal is to make sure that they understand and hear your offer. That's all that matters, that they actually hear your offer. And then at that point, they can decide whether or not to proceed with it. A big issue that a lot of, people who do outreach or growth operators make is that they don't even get their offers like listened to. If they don't listen to your offer, there's 0% chance they know what you're doing. They are, in the future going to need you. Now, I'm not saying that this is bulletproof, like this system or way to doing it is bulletproof. But what I am saying is that if someone reads your offer, if they know what you're selling, if they know who you are, if they ever need some sort of help, they're going to go back to you. That's how it works, right? And you might be saying, well, Edmund, I've tried this before. I can tell you this as a person, like I said, who has been on both sides of things. I've had someone outreach to me and I have done the outreaching. This is what works. If you do this long enough, you will get a client. If you don't, you're going to keep struggling. Right. So that's the second point of it. creating a voice memo, it works. Do not do Looms. A lot of people are going the whole Loom route. But like I said, again, these guys are busy. You want to make this as least friction as possible. For someone to go on and watch a 2-3 minute long Loom, they don't want to do. I could tell you when I was doing this right here, when I was making this content right here, I did not want to listen to a 2-3 minute long Loom. And I'll be honest, I've probably never actually listened to any sort of fucking Loom. Completely honest with you, bro. So if you're someone who's sending Looms out there, we don't listen to them. Right. And I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything like that. I want you guys to understand, because I see this issue a lot. And as someone who's been on both sides of things, I can tell you for a fact, they don't listen to Looms. What they will do is they will see your message, they'll listen to your offer, they'll go to your profile. Do you seem reputable? If you do seem reputable, they'll reply back. If you don't seem reputable, or they're questioning about whether or not to reply to you, or maybe they're busy, whatever the case may be, they'll open it and they'll keep living with their life. And all you do then is you just follow up, or eventually they'll remember that they need some sort of help, and then they'll think about you and reach back out to you. That's exactly how it works. So stop doing Looms. They don't listen to them. Right. And I've had a lot of people in my coaching programs, just like Caleb in the past, Caleb and another student of mine, I think his name is Angel, who've been doing Looms, who've been sending Looms for months. And then they go on and they see that they're wasting time creating these 5-10 minute Looms while they're not even being viewed. Right. And they try this voice memo and they get excellent results from it. So try voice memos. Go ahead and send these voice memos. Even if the person doesn't say that they are interested, what's going to happen is when they do become interested, they are going to think about you, and eventually they will reach out to you, or eventually they'll be interested enough to hop on the call. Section number 3. Now, once you send them the Loom, and once you've got a positive reply, or once they say, yeah, I do want to hear more, a big mistake a lot of people make is that they send them some sort of Calendly, or they wait, or they set up a call. No. Do not do that. And the reason why I say this is because I manage sales teams who do hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. One thing we've implemented is when a prospect is interested, you just call them up. You don't try to book a call through DMs. You don't, wait a little bit, try to add some sort of scarcity or value to them. You just call them up strictly, right? So here's exactly what I do. Once they reply positively, skip the calendar and call them on Instagram. Just call them on Instagram. Now, I wouldn't just call them up. I would text them and say something along the lines like, okay, bet, bro, cool. Are you free later today to hop on a quick call? All right. Just call them on Instagram. What time works best today? Can keep it super brief, right? You're around this afternoon. I could break this down in like 5 minutes, right? Gotcha, bro. That's very, very, very good. Are you free like in the next 30-40 minutes or so to hop on a quick call so I could kind of, show you a little bit more about this, right? Or can I hop on a quick call on Instagram? And I mean Instagram by quick call, just so you don't get confused, right? Quickly call them on Instagram, and then you just talk to them a little bit. You ask them a couple of questions. Like, you want this to be actually like very, very, very low barrier, in the sense of like, you're not asking too much investment for them. You're not asking them to go on a calendar or go through a type form. You're just asking, hey, bro, like, let's just hop on a phone real quick. And once you do hop on the phone, your goal is to get like an overview of where they are. You don't dig too much. Like 2 to 3 questions asking where they are. 2 to 3 questions like what they're struggling with. 2 to 3 questions where they want to go. And then from there, once you get those, the calls should realistically be like under 5 minutes. Now, if they want to push it for more. But typically under 5 minutes long. And then you want to end that call off with saying that, okay, bro, this was a really, really good call. Like, listening to all of this, I have a really, really good game plan for us. What time are you available later tonight or maybe tomorrow morning to hop on like a 30-minute call on Zoom? So here's like psychologically what has happened. They've already invested a little bit of their time going through your profile. Just a little bit of your time going through your profile. You sent them a message, they went through your profile, invested a little bit of their time, right? You sent them a voicemail, invested a little bit more on the time, going through your investment. And then you asked to call, invested a little bit more of their time to hop on a quick call with you. And then once you ask them to say, hey, bro, let's hop on a quick meeting, 30 minutes long, they're just going to say yes, right? It's the Socrates principle. The more you can get someone to say yes, and yes, the higher likelihood you have of getting what you want, right? So that's the third section right there. Book a call. Don't send them a calendar link. That's a big mistake a lot of people make. Do not do that. It's not going to work well for you. and it's a lot of friction, right? Instagram style, you want to keep the convo light. You want to keep the convo light, helpful, and strategic. Don't go into too much detail on it. Like I said, 5-10 minutes max if they're pushing it. Understand their backing problem and see if they qualify, right? Boom. Next thing is if they don't answer the IG call. Now, if they answer, you just then like, yo, let's hop on a call in 30 minutes from now. And then a quick thing is to get their phone number, right? If you could get their phone number, that is perfect right there. Get their phone number and then hop on a call later that afternoon or tomorrow morning with them, right? You just want to get a little bit more and more and more investment from the prospect. Now that's going to lead us to section number 4. If they don't answer, what do you do? If they don't answer the call on IG, or if they don't answer to set up a call on IG, all you do is you just follow up harder and harder and harder with them that specific day and next day. So let's just say the prospect was super, super interested and then they out of nowhere just leave or they stop replying. That doesn't mean they're no longer interested. I've been on these things. That's the reason why I could say this so confidently. They have lives. They're doing other things. They're already making money. You're trying to pitch them on an offer or on something to make more money. They're already making money. All right. So to get them out of that mindset, to get them away from that, to focus on what you're selling, is going to be a little bit. It's going to be difficult. It's going to have some sort of friction always. So like, kind of always expect that. And then the next thing is how you follow up with them actually. So let's say, all good, bro, probably just bad time. Let me know what time works. Still down to break this down. I'll be around all day. Just let me know if now is a good time or later. You just want to follow up with them harder, harder, and harder. Let's just say it's 12. They say they were interested. You call them, they don't answer. They kind of ghost for like 2 hours. Follow up with them like 3 times that day. Right? And then the next day, follow up with them 3 more times that day. They are a warm lead. They are interested. You just kind of need to get them over that fence, right? So that's the way you do it, just in case they don't answer the IG call. Now, let's just say long term, or someone just doesn't answer at all, right? You go through this whole thing and someone just doesn't answer, then you just want to long term follow up with these guys, right? You want to set up some sort of CRM or some sort of like Google tracker. If you're in the growth operating space, you know what a CRM is. Now, only do this if you're actually going to be serious setting up a CRM, because a CRM costs money. It's like $97 a month of Go High Level. If you're actually going to be follow up with leads, if you're not going to follow up with leads, then just use a Google Sheets and follow with them every 2 weeks. It's not a no. It just means it's not right now. Growth operating is up and down. Clients get results and then next one's bad. And then 2 weeks later it's good. And then 2 weeks later it's bad. It's up and down and things fluctuate. Right. So some follow-up examples that I have for you is like, hey, man, the thought of you again just helped out. Someone fixed the same funnel gap we just talked about. Let me know if you're still down. That doesn't work. A week or 2 weeks later, you follow up with them again. If that doesn't work, you just keep following with them again over and over and over and over and over and over again. Right. Quick win update. Client just jumped from 3 to 10 calls a week after we clean X, Y, and Z up. Are you still looking to scale your offer? Boom. Use that. And then just continue following up with leads. I can tell you this from a fact, like what happened with me when I had this TikTok right here. My sales manager, he DM'd me, and at the time, I wasn't really focused on scaling my coaching offer. I was trying to get my following up. He DM'd me. I didn't answer, or actually no, I did answer, but I was like, yo, bro, like I'll hit you up later or something like that. Right. And then he DM'd me again and I didn't answer just because I was busy. And then he DM'd me again like 2-3 weeks later. And I was like, okay, no, this guy's actually hungry. He actually wants to make money. He's about this, number one. And number two, it was just the right timing because I was starting to think a little bit more about scaling this Pages coaching program. Right. So continue to follow up with them. Now, for those of you who have done all this, you think, Edmond, I can't help, or I don't know what to do. Well, here's some do's and don'ts, right? But before we get into do's and don'ts, if you've tried these things before and they haven't worked, what you need is one-on-one coaching, right? If you've tried this for at least 7 days and you've not seen results, you need one-on-one coaching, right? And the next steps that I have for you and I highly recommend is go down below. There's my Instagram right there, DM me. I do offer one-on-one coaching with a guarantee of getting a client. So go on ahead and DM me and let's see if we could work out something on Instagram. But here's a couple of do's and don'ts that I have for you, right? If you try this and you just kind of want like a guideline. Do's, keep it casual. Do not make it corporate at all. You want to make it friendly. You want to keep it cool, calm, and corrected. Do not send like a big ass fucking paragraph. A lot of people do that. Just don't do that. It doesn't work, and it just wastes your time. Next thing, lead with curiosity, not credentials. Your goal is to get a response when you're starting out. You're not trying to get these guys to respect you or look at you as like the best growth operator. Because the thing with this, guys, is people lie about their offers or like guarantees. I've had people tell me, "Oh, Edmund, I'm gonna make you 150K in 6 hours." So like something crazy like that. And I'm just like, what are we saying? You know what I mean? So it's curiosity. They've heard the biggest things. It's kind of like what's happening in the whole content space right now. If you get a Lambo, it literally means nothing. 5 years ago, if you got a Lambo, you get crazy views. But now if you get a Lambo, it's like, it's cool, right? It's inflation of results, inflation of, access to things. The next thing is your voice memos that you send, make them 10 seconds or less, right? People skim through tests, but they will listen to a voice memo. Like, I could guarantee you this. When I was getting outreach, I don't watch the looms at all. I would never watch a loom. I would never watch anything like that. If I think you're reputable, I'll give you the time of day and just hop on a call with you. You pitch me then and show me that you're reputable and you have the credentials. If I don't, I'm not going to sit here and watch a 5-minute loom hoping that you'll convince me. It's just not going to work, right? Send voice memos. They work extremely well. Do point out a specific gap. So there has to be a specific thing that you're fixing for them. It can't just be, I'll help you make money. Like, how are you going to help them make money? You're missing this, right? And your competitor has this. This is why we should do it, right? It has to actually make sense. Don't just say, I'll help you make more money. Everyone can help them make more money, but how are you going to do it? Next one of the dudes is ask for same day calls. As someone who manages sales teams, we have increased our cash collected rate or how much money we make by just implementing same day calls, right? A prospect is interested, boom, we make sure that they're qualified, and we say, hey, bro, what time are you available later today to hop on a call? Just like that, right? We quickly get them on the call. So have same day calls with these guys if you can. Next thing is do IG calls instead of booking links. This is something a lot of people are not going to tell you, but it's very, very small. It skips the friction and it stops the flake. Because think about it, how many times have you sent someone a calendar or how many times have you sent someone the time? Yo, let's hop on a call in this time, and they don't show up, right? I'm pretty sure it's been a lot and numerous of times. So skip all of that. Just call them up on Instagram and then go from there. Next thing, stay persistent. Don't be pushy. Like, yo, I'm just checking in again. Just saw a win I thought you'd like every 2 weeks. Just stay persistent. Don't be pushy, because what's going to happen if you're pushing and you actually bother the person, then they'll just discard you. But if you're following with them every week or so, every 2 weeks or so, and things like that, that's respectable. You're trying to make money. You're just obviously following up. So those are some of the do's right there. Now let's go over to the don'ts. Number one, don't drop your offer up front. There has to be some sort of curiosity as to like why they should keep listening to you. And typically they'll ask for your offer. Like, what can you actually do for them? Right? The scream sales leads, save it for the call. Number two, do not act like a fanboy at all. You may be texting someone who has a big fan base. Don't ever sit here and say like, yo, I used to watch you online. They're just not going to respect that. I think it sounds nice, ideally it sounds nice that you could be, fanboy and still get respect, but typically that's not how it's going to work. You can respect their work, but position yourself as the fix, not a follower, right? 3, don't send looms or big walls of text. That doesn't work. No one reads them. I have never watched a loom. I will guarantee you that I don't watch a loom. Next, number 4, don't ask, are you interested in your first message? This is a yes or no trap. You want engagement, not a decision. Right? You just want them to engage, invest more and more and more and more and more of their time with you, right? And then eventually make a decision. So the next thing is don't use spammy buzzwords like, I'll scale your business to 100K. This is a red flag. You want to be a human being. You want them to sell you want your profile to sell yourself. This is what I told you guys at the beginning. Your profile needs to sell you. If it doesn't, then you're probably just not going to work out. Right? Your profile needs to sell you. That doesn't mean have a lot of followers, but have some sort of case studies, have some sort of proof that you are who you say you are. Next, don't try to be funny or overly clever. Just be cool, calm, collected. Show them your offer, show them your value, and then go from there. Number 7, do not get needy if they ghost you, right? Your follow-ups need to feel like valuable updates, not like, please, bro, please respond. Don't do that. Ultimately, you want respect, and if they don't respect you, none of this is going to work. Now, if you've gone through this and you're like, Edmund, I don't I've tried all of this. It doesn't work. What you need is one-on-one coaching. And I do offer a guarantee where I do guarantee you a client. If you are someone who wants to learn more about that, go to my Instagram, the first link below, and DM me on Instagram. Then we will go from there. Now, the last thing is going to be the sales system. Now, let's just say, okay, you got good, they picked up on IG, and then now you guys book a call for you to fully go into the sales system and show them exactly what they're going to get from you. Now, I break this down into 3 sections. Now, why should you listen to me when in regards to sale? Every single offer that I've worked on today, I have started as a sales rep. I have started as a setter, and I went on and closed 4 these deals. So I understand sales as a whole, having been a sales rep myself and managing sales reps for my team that is currently doing $200,000 every single month for my agency. Section number 1 is a quick call on IG. Now, how do you actually handle these? Like, you probably like, okay, like Edmund, you went into a little bit of detail, but how do you actually handle these? Number 1, it's a quick call. That's all it should be. You need to keep it casual. Like, yo, bro, here's the main thing. You're doing this. You need to be doing that. You just need to quickly go over things. You're not trying to sell them on the, let's see. You're not trying to sell them, right? You're trying to just figure out where they're stuck and just provide some sort of value to show them that, you can't do what you say you do. It should be 1 to 2 basic questions, to uncover like their back-end issue and what they're actually facing. Because one of the worst things you could possibly do is to have the wrong offer for the wrong person. If someone's facing an issue hopping on calls every single day and you go ahead and pitch them getting more leads, it's just not going to work. You have to understand your ICP, and the questions when on this IG call is to just figure out what's their main issue. Typically, I'll tell you this, it's going to be either time that they're hopping on all these calls up, they want you to help them save more time, or number 2, they need more leads. All right, if they already have some sort of coaching program, they need more lead. Or number 3, they're missing some sort of expertise. They think they're missing some sort of systems that will take them to the next level. Right, so figure out what it is for your ICP and then tailor your whole presentation around that. Number 4, I've helped a couple coaches fix this thing. What time are you free later today to hop on a call? So once you've gotten information, you understand like what they're actually struggling. The next thing is to hop them on like a legitimate call when they're sitting down and actually able to make some sort of decision whether or not they want to move forward and work with you, right? And the way that I pitch that is, okay, cool, gotcha, bro. I mean, dude, this is really freaking good, and I see how I see where your main issue is, dude. Let's hop on a call later today, like 30 minutes on a Google Meet. Is that like, what time do you have available later today to to do that? Right? You see how like I have some sort of curiosity and kind of how my tone changes. That's just because of sales, but you want to add curiosity and like you actually really, really want to help them. Right? So once again, it's going to sound something like this, bro. I clearly see the issue that you're having and facing right now. Dude, let's do this. Let's hop on a call later today, 30 minutes. What time are you available, to hop on a quick Google Meet with me when I'll show you exactly the systems and how I can help you, fix that issue that you're having of not getting enough leads. Boom, they'll hop on a call. And what I would do there is I would get their personal phone number, right? Cool, bro. Well, what's your personal phone number so I could just shoot you the Google Meet link there. Right? That's a little bit more investment. You know what I mean? So that's what you have to do. Your mindset here is you're not selling them. You're teasing the value and filtering for real buyers. That's your goal here. You're not trying to sell them anything. You just want to see where they are. Or do they actually have a pain point? And that's the biggest thing that you're going to have to see. And you're going to have to sort of just create urgency in these people, because a lot of them are going to think, well, I'll just keep trying it by myself. They're already making money. So it's not like they have to make more money. They just want to make more. And when someone just wants to and just doesn't have to do something, there is no urgency. And when there's lack of urgency, they're not going to make a decision. They'll give you some BS objections that you're just going to have to filter through, and you're just going to have to wait for them to come back around, spin back around, and work with you. But your mindset should be to figure out what issues they have and, figuring out how you can help them. Now, once you have them on the call, now, if they say no or there's some sort of friction, long-term follow-up, you go back to number 4, section 4, you just follow up with them ASAP as much as you possibly can. If they say no, as much as you possibly can in a couple of days, or if they say no, then obviously like figuring out what the reason why is. But if they If you guys don't get to that point, then it's this. But if you guys hop on the call and they say like right now is not the good time, you just continue to follow up with them. Now, once you hop on that 30-minute call, here's exactly how to handle this. So the way that I deal with sales calls when it comes to selling clients is three different ways. Is three different sections. Section number one is a discovery. Section number two is a presentation. And then section number three is objection handling. Your call should be around 40 minutes long. The discovery is 20 minutes long. The presentation is 5 minutes long, right? And then the objection handling is about 10 minutes long. Objection handling slash, providing the offer. The first thing is the discovery. Here with the discovery, the reason why you spend most of your time here is that you need to figure out where they are and where they want, why they haven't gotten there yet, right? That's the whole point with the discovery. Now, some of the questions you're going to ask to figure out where they currently are is just straight up like, what have you been doing right now? Like, how much money are you making? How many calls are you getting every single day? What's your show up rate? Things like that to figure out where they currently are. Once you get a good picture about that, of where they currently are, then you go ahead and you figure out where do you want to go. Well, I mean, let me ask you, bro, like 3 to 6 months down the line from now, like how much money are you trying to make? Okay, I'm trying to make this, that, and the other. Okay, well, I mean, like, what does that look like to you? Like, how much money, okay, you want to make $50,000 with your coaching program. Well, what does that look like to you, right? You want to figure out where they want to go. Oh, yeah, well, it looks like, I'm having a little bit more time with my family. I can spend more time outside doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to really paint a vivid picture of where they want to be, what that life looks like on the other side. And the reason why you really want to focus on the discovery a lot is because if you don't do the discovery properly, you're not going to have enough ammunition at the end to like shoot back at them. Because the way you want to work the discovery is that you want to just get bullets, get more and more and more and more and more bullets, right? And once you get these bullets, then when they give you objection, you could go ahead, flip it, and shoot back at them. All right, so the next thing is to present your offer in a way that appeals to your ICP. So if you are selling something to someone, you have to really understand your person. If it's a B to C, like someone in the trading space, someone, the whole Lambo lifestyle and stuff like that, what you want to do is you want to sell them the dream. You want to sell them, I can make you X amount of money, bro. You'll be able to do this, that, and the other. If it's more logistical, like in the real estate space or Airbnb, where it is more of a B2B sell, right? You're selling to someone that's in the B2B space logically, it's going to have to be more logical and you're going to have to show them the systems, right? So let me quickly kind of show you exactly how my systems are set up or like how I do my presentation. So it's who I am, my sales manager, what I do, what he does, how much money we've generated, what funnels we've worked with. We work with some of the clients we've worked with, the exact systems that we use. Now, I typically have this presentation now when onboarding clients just because I have a hefty setup fee. But I want to justify and I really want to show them exactly where that money is going to be going to. So I go through the funnels, right? Like the email marketing system, Go High Level, what Go High Level is for, Zapier, Discord for communication, Typeform, ClickFunnels, that they also get a guarantee setter and a closer just in case, they just want the setup and things like that. And then after that, I show them some results. A lot of you guys are not going to have results, which is fine, right? But I show them some results, long-term, short-term, show up rate, close rates. And then I show them what the next 14 to 14 days could look like with me. Plus, I have and give them a complimentary chargeback protection system and a Google Looker Studio, right? Which is something like just like a little add-on to them. But that's kind of how I have my presentation set up. And that was easily set up in Canva. So just utilize Canva. You'll have your presentation. Now, the presentation should be around 5 minutes long, depending on what exactly you are offering to that person. Now, when you're starting out, you want to kind of have your presentation mold the person based on all the information that you got on that quick call with them on Instagram. Mold the person and really be for them is what I mean. You want to make it personalized. That's a better word. Make it personalized for them. But once you start scaling and then you have multiple clients, then you can just have a direct system, not system, but a direct presentation that, fits all, which is what I have right now. That's the presentation. It's about 5 minutes long. Once you complete the presentation, all you have to do is this. All right, bro. So do you have any question regarding any of our systems? If they have any questions, boom, you go ahead and answer them. Boom, let's just say you answer, okay, why do you guys use email marketing? You explain them why you use email marketing. It's to nurture people. And then you ask them again, anything else, bro? Boom. If they have another one, you obviously answer. But once they no longer have any question, all right. So like outside, all right. Since you don't have any other question, now the price for this is $3,000 and 30% of the revenue we generate for your coaching offer. Do you have any questions regarding anything, bro? Boom. Typically, right there. If they're ready, boom, they'll just sign on and you guys will move forward. If they're not ready, what they'll do is they will give you an objection. Whoa, I know you're probably scared, like, oh, shit, how do I handle objections? It's very simple. Now, if they see value in this, it's almost always just going to be a logistic question, meaning figuring out how much money they have, how much money they can invest right now, and like how you guys can figure it out. Now, if it's logistical, you don't need to do any sort of sales tactics, right? But the one thing I will say that you always do is to make sure that they find and see value in this. If they don't see value in this, then there's almost 0% chance you're going to be able to close them. Now, the way you do that is, let's just say they say, oh, well, I need to think about it. Understand, think about it is not a real objection, right? It's a smoke screen. When they say I need to think about it, first thing first, you want to disarm them and just agree with what they're saying. Oh, gotcha, bro. I mean, yeah, a lot of our clients that go through these calls do need to think about it, right? You disarm them, you agree, you kind of let them walk out the door so that they could like drop their guard, because no one likes being sold to or having to make a decision on the spot. They drop their guard, they relax, and then from there, what you just ask them is, well, I mean, price aside, do you feel like what we have here can help you get to, where you want to go? Let's just say it's $10,000 a month, right? Can get you to that $10,000 a month mark. If they say yes, if they say no, you did a poor job with the presentation or digging enough to the pinpoint in the discovery, or this is like just a mismatch of offer, right? 99% of the time they're going to say yes. And then when they say yes, you just have them explain, right? Well, why do you feel like you can? Boom, they explain. Yeah, well, because of this, that, and the other, right? And then once they finish explaining, you ask them, when you do go and think about it, like what exactly, are you going to think about just to see if I could help you with it, right? And then from there, they're going to tell you exactly what the objection is. If it's like a money thing, they'll say something along the lines of, bro, like, I just don't think I could do $5,000 right now. And then from there, you just go logistical and you offer them a payment plan, or you just figure out, some sort of contract to deal with them. If it's a fear-based, something that was like, bro, I just don't know if right now is the time, or like, I just don't know if like I should do this right now. That means they have the money. They're just scared. And then from there, you just give them an analogy. One that I like using a lot is a bridge analogy. You are right here on this side of the bridge. You want to get to this side of the bridge, which is, making $10,000 a month and all these stuff. But you're on this side, which you are currently frustrated. You're hopping on every single call. So what I can do is I could set down the steps for you to cross that bridge, but I can't get you over that bridge, right? You want to make it visually understanding to them, like give them an analogy, and then, from there, let them make the decision, right? So that's how you handle objections. Don't really overcomplicate it. If you're new to it, don't try the analogy. If you're genuinely new to it, what you want to do is really just focus on value. If you really, really focus on value, you're not going to get a fear-based objection. You're just going to get a logistical. And then with logistical, you just, figure out the pricing points. Lastly is onboarding. Now, the onboarding process is very, very simple. All you need to do is collect access to Go High Level, course platforms, email, funnel links, webinar, recording, offer details, guarantees, and things like that. And the way that I do that is just have a simple doc where I write this down. And then whenever I sign on a new client, I just say, hey, this is my email, and invite me to these tools right there. Something else that every single one of you guys needs to do is to set expectations with your clients. A lot of these clients are just going to be tough to deal with, and they're going to expect to make a lot of money very, very quickly. You don't want these clients that are just thinking that this is like a gold run, like a gold run. They're going to come in quick, do little work, and make a lot of money. That's just not how info works in today's day and age. And you have to make sure that you let those expectations be known at the very, very beginning, because if you don't, what's going to happen is that you're going to have these expectations with your clients. They're not going to be happy. They may charge back. Your reputation may be, screwed up, and things like that are easily avoidable. Lastly is setting up daily meetings with your clients. Once you sign on the clients, you want to have daily meetings with them, right? And these are like 15-minute long meetings, just going over the sales marketing side of things, and what you guys are currently working on right there. And then a quick tip that I have for every single one of you guys watching this video right now. So get your client a win as soon as possible. If you sign them on Monday, try to get them some money by Friday. Let them see their investment coming back as soon as humanly possible so that they can stick along and stay with you. I hope you enjoyed this module or this masterclass right here on exactly how to get a growth operating client in 7 days. Now, if you're someone that's gone through this or you have been struggling to get a client, I have an offer for you in my one-on-one mentorship where I guarantee you a client within 21 days. What you have to do to get access to that guarantee is to click the first link below, go to my Instagram and just DM me for one-on-one coaching, and then we will hop on an Instagram call real quick, and then I'll just see, if this is something we could figure out and fit. But that's going to do it for the video. If you're a coach or consultant that wants me to scale their coaching program, not someone looking to learn what I do, click the second link below. I have an offer for you. Go ahead and check that out. That's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching, boys.